President Putin has just signed a decree that is going to affect the lives of non-Russian citizens for the first time in a long time. Russia is making power moves. Now, over the years, President Putin has signed many laws, many new decrees, many things that have changed the lives of Russians. But like I said, this new decree, this immigration decree, is going to affect people from all over the world. It can be life-changing. Before we get into the decree, let's just talk a little bit about the families that have already been in Russia and have been seeking either citizenship, asylum, residency, and all of these things. And they're coming from Australia, Canada, the United States. Here's some clips from some families that have already come to Russia to make a new life.
Marriage and family has always been the base foundational relationship of any society. Father, thank you this day, thank you for being here. And as each society flourished and as families were encouraged and promoted, society grew and flourished. Because from those family units, it would move out into different levels of society, all the way up into government. But sadly, we see many of those values and traditions being not only discouraged, but being challenged legally. You know, we've seen time and time again, society after society, the Romans, the Greek, the Syrophoenicians, have all fallen away and are now just an ancient history.
Да-да-да, это семья канадских фермеров, вот они переехали сюда.
Показывали по телевизору их.
Yeah, well, the lady recognized you from the TV show.
Я watch TV. А why? Почему?
Why? Why did you come here?
Better opportunities.
Здесь лучшие возможности.
Это да.
Вы согласны с этим?
В России, yes.
Now, if you don't know these families, they are Christian based and they're conservative for the most part. And this is specifically, this decree is specifically geared towards people who have conservative ideologies. The decree is actually inviting people who are tired of their neoliberalistic governments, you know, these governments that are pushing lunacy into their society. And I really think that this problem just grew way bigger in the 2024 Olympics. Oddly enough, that got really weird really fast. Just to explain to you, just to show you how weird things have gotten over the last 10 years in the West, I want to show you what the 2014 Olympics looked like in Russia versus the ones that happened in 2024. And then we're going to dig into the decree. You can see that this Russian Olympic performance is very classical because it is tied with Russian tradition. Usually, the country that's hosting will put something that has to do with their country. And this is very, very, I guess, beautiful, very traditional, very clean in a way. It's nothing radical. But now let's look at a Western country. I can't even begin to tell you how strange the opening and the performances were at the France Olympics. It was just weird thing after. This is why I believe that this decree that Putin has passed is going to be very attractive to the people that just finished seeing this insane performance. Russia is quickly becoming the Noah's Ark of our generation for the people who want to escape the loony house, as I call it. It's fascinating to me that a country that is told to be very closed, very evil, is doing these type of moves. So it seems like Russia's really waking up and understanding that many people actually admire their values and actually find Russia to be an attractive place to move to. Now, a lot of the comments will probably say this is propaganda, that place is horrible and all these things, but I don't know what to tell you kind of guys, because actually there's a lot of families that are wanting to come over. There's a lot of families that are already here. Over the next couple days, there's going to be a lot of information. I'm going to be posting more frequently. I'm going to be posting my thoughts and all the new information that I get. Hopefully you guys can subscribe and you guys can comment any questions that you have so that I can look out for this information that you guys are needing. I also do live videos. I recently did a live video, so you can actually go check that live video out and my previous video as well. Now let's listen to an actual professional who is involved in immigration and laws and all these different things for helping people. His job is actually immigration. Let's listen to him explain what this decree is all about.
Hi everyone, I'm very happy to speak to you today, even on this video, for several reasons. And reason number one, which is amazing, in my opinion, there are so many people that for the last 3 years in Russia has been working on that, and so many people around the world that have been waiting for this moment to come. And as you already understood, I'm speaking about the new presidential decree that came into force today. So this presidential decree basically says that those foreign nationals that reside in their countries which do not support traditional values, conservative families, which promote neoliberal agenda, such foreign nationals will be able to move to Russia. And they will be able to move to Russia without a quota, which is an immigration quota set every year by Russian government for each region of Russia. So no longer the quota is required. And number two is that there is no need to pass the Russian language test. So the quota by itself would allow a foreign national to apply for a 3-year temporary residency permit. So now with this new decree, if you come from a country which supports neoliberal values, basically you are eligible to apply for a 3-year temporary residency permit without passing the Russian language test. We think this is literally changing of the whole Russian immigration system, which for the last 30 years was not focused on bringing people to Russia, specifically from the Western countries, because there was no such a trend. And now we know the trend is there. How it will work in practice? In practice, it will work in a way that you would be able to apply for a 3-month visa in your home country. Once you get this visa, you will be able to come to Russia on that private visa and submit application for a 3-year temporary residency permit. You will still need to provide documents such as police check, apostilled from the country, from your home country. You would still need to do the medical test here in Russia and some bureaucratic procedures here in Russia. It's advisable, of course, to seek for professional assistance for one reason, that once you come to Russia, you bring your documents and you think that the documents are okay. If there is a mistake, imagine you'll have to go back to correct that. So it's advisable still to consult a lawyer, although luckily, hopefully, things would be much better. That's going to happen very, very soon. The decree comes into force as of today, but there are certain provisions that will come a bit later, because what are those countries? So the decree clearly states that those countries will be, the list of those countries will be established by the Russian government. So the Russian government within the next month would determine what are those countries. Well, my wild guess is that those are so-called unfriendly countries that Russia believes that are unfriendly to Russia. I'm pretty sure that all of them will be included into this list. So once you come to Russia, you apply for the 3-year temporary residency permit. You have 3 years to study the Russian language, because the next step into your immigration process will be applying for the permanent residency. At that moment, you'll have to pass the Russian language test, but you will have 3 years. Yeah, there is no pressure on you like it is now when you come to Russia, and for many foreigners, they get a 3-month visa, and they are basically struggling to get the knowledge of the Russian language to a level where they have to pass the test within 3 months. This is quite hard, if not impossible at all.
The most important things to take away from this is that, one, there's not going to be any quotas anymore. Okay, just the language thing is one thing, but the quota thing is really important, because usually Russia used to say, okay, only 10 people can come to this oblast, 10 people can come here, 2 can go there, 3. Like, Russia was very closed for immigration when it came to foreigners. But now there is no more quotas. There is literally an open gate. If you want to go to this part of Russia, if you want to go to that part of Russia, you're not going to be restricted by the amount of people that are coming over. Second, yes, the language thing. They're no longer going to have to learn Russian to be able to receive temporary residency. This is only for temporary residency. Number three, you're not going to have to know basic Russian history. And number four, you're not going to have to know basic Russian laws, okay? But I think that it is also very important to understand that you always have to do it the legal way. Although there is new rules, things have gotten easier, you still have to have the right paperwork. Remember, in Russia, it's all about paperwork. You need the apostilled background check from your country, and you're going to need the medical exams, and you're going to need more paperwork once you're inside of Russia, because you actually need to be legally in Russia on another visa before you apply for residency. Just so you guys know, you will still need to learn the Russian language for when you apply for the permanent residency, okay? This is not going to waiver this is not a waiver so you never learn Russian. If you want permanent residency, this will be a requirement. You must learn the Russian language. Another important thing is, while you're a temporary resident, a lot of the crazy lunatics will say, oh, when they come and they get this residency, they're going to be forced to join the military. It's illegal. You're not going to be drafted into the military, guys. I just wanted to make that really clear, because there are going to be a lot of people who are going to go crazy and saying, hey, they're going to turn you into conscripts and all these things. Don't listen to these negative people. But this is just the truth. This temporary residency is not like seeking asylum. You have to be in the territory of Russia, and you need to have all the right paperwork, okay? This is not like opening the gates for everybody to come. And so with that, all of this being said, can you imagine how the West is going to react to this? I just honestly feel that it's been decaying so much all over the place. And the climax was the Olympics, that this is going to be so attractive for so many people, and I'm all for it. Again, I don't know if you guys know, but they're going to make a list in September of what countries can come. Like Timur mentioned, he thinks that these countries are going to be the countries most likely on the unfriendly list. Since I came to Russia and I got married as a Mexican, this is why I said in my last video, I don't know if I will be taking advantage of this new decree, because I want to get my my temporary residency as a Mexican, not as an American. And I have dual citizenship, so we'll see how it works. If America's on the list, probably I'll end up using it. But if I have to apply for residency under the nationality that I got married in, and Mexico is not on the list, I might not be able to apply for this new decree, okay? So I just wanted to clear that up. A lot of people were wondering, hey, why won't you use it? It's really beneficial to you. In Russia, nothing's really clear. We have to wait for the list to come out, and then we can see who can take advantage of this. I mentioned before that there was already people who got their residency, who got their citizenship. I was really, really happy to see this Texan family. I'm going to play the full clip of him and his family receiving their papers here in Russia.
I want to thank the Russian government and the Russian people for allowing me to come to your country. We intend to use this opportunity to benefit our family. I feel like I've been put on an ark of safety for my family, and it's very important. Thank you so much.
I just want to say that I feel very honored. In a small way, it feels like I just got married to Russia, and I look forward to building a future here with my family.
The person I want to thank is your president, President Putin, for allowing Russia to become a good place for families in this world climate.
So this is an example to many of you. There were different families with kids at different ages. If you're planning on coming to Russia, it's already being done with bringing kids. There's people from all ages. You saw the video on The Real Reporter where a man who's basically retired and he's living somewhere near the Moscow territory. So many people from all ages can come. I myself, I'm in my mid-30s and I'm barely starting a new life. So if I happen to be able to use this decree to help me, then I can essentially start the rest of my life from the middle of my life. And that's not bad at all. I have no kids. I want to start a family, and that's just how it is. This decree is really going to help a lot of people who want to change their life. On my previous video, I played the devil's advocate. I talked about the nuances of something like this happening to Russia. And we're doing this on this channel because we know that the rest of the channels maybe will just talk about how amazing, how perfect this is. But you have to think about it before you act. Always come to Russia as a tourist first. Do not pack your bags and fly over here. That's not the way to do it. Okay, you always have to think about these things carefully. Plan your life according to how hectic the reality is in recent times. You know, in Russia, life changes every day. Something random can happen. Like this new decree was a very positive thing. This is an amazing thing that nobody was expecting. And just like how amazing this new decree is, some bad things can happen too. Just plan according, okay? Don't take this decree as a sign to move to Russia. Take this decree as a sign to get your visa for tourism and go to Russia and see if you like it. And the good thing is, if you like it, now you have a way of staying in Russia, okay? That's how it should be. I'm really curious to know, are some of you guys willing to take advantage of this new decree? Comment down below if you're willing to come as a tourist first and see if you like it and actually make that move. It's not simple. You have to take the leap of faith. Of course, you first have to come and see if you like it, but are you even willing to try that? This is why Russia is opening its doors through this decree. It's basically looking for people that have the conservative values that Russia holds near and dear to their culture, okay? This is meant to attract people who are tired of what it says, neoliberal ideologies, these ideals that are pushed down upon them. These people that are hopefully going to come to Russia are people that are not easily molded by governments and that have pure hearts and have God in their life. I think that's who the Russians are aiming to bring. I hope that it's only those type of good people that come. I'm really happy about this new decree, and we're just going to have to see what happens in September when they release the list, okay? This was an update. This was a video dedicated to the people that have already gone through the steps, people that brought their entire families and have made a change in their lives, because honestly, what an interesting time to be alive. What a beautiful time to be in Russia right now. I really feel that we're in a very special time in history. One last thing, make sure you guys check out my previous video so you can see the nuances, the different mentality to this decree, okay guys? Remember, life is not black and white. There's always a little bit of different shades in the middle, and it's good to talk about them, all right? Do not be that guy that just buys this ticket and comes to Russia. You still need a tourist visa, and you still need a plan. I'll see you in the next one.